Romans 12, verses 1 and 2 in the Message version reads, "So here's what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you. Develop well formed maturity in you. Watch the words readily recognize and quickly respond. Why do you think, if you don't, the prince of this world and his living representatives in this world are readily waiting to drag you out of his will and drag you to their level of immaturity? Today, I want to bring to your attention a man of God from the Old Testament who stood to the test of time. His name was Micaiah, a prophet. He lived during the time of King Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, and Ahab, the king of Israel. Once before going for battle, he was consulted. King Ahab knew about Micaiah, and this was his testimony about him. "There is a prophet, but I hate him. He never preaches anything good to me." 1 Kings 22, verse 8. When 400 prophets danced to the tunes of the kings and gave them green signals to go to battle, Micaiah stood out from the crowd. Micaiah's courageous truth telling arose out of his relationship with God. He knew that he was accountable to a greater king whose servant he was than the wicked King Ahab. He was aware that all of us someday must give account of ourselves to God, as the New Testament says in Romans 14:12. So each of us will be accountable to God. So he told Ahab what he knew God wanted him to say. 1 Kings 22, verse 17, Micaiah unleashed the painful truth. He told Ahab the vision he had seen, that Ahab was going to die in battle and his followers would be defeated and scattered. This message from the Lord was the opposite from what the 400 prophets headed by Zedekiah had to say. Zedekiah was so angered by Micaiah's word that he stepped forward and slapped him on the cheek. Verse 24. When truth is declared, you may have people respond in anger, but truth prevails. As prophesied, Ahab was killed in the battle. The one quality that stands out of the prophet was that he spoke the truth, as unpopular as it was, in spite of pressures to go along with the crowd. Even in the last day, Paul says in 2 Timothy 4, verse 3, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears." So in these last days, let us be watchful to readily recognize God's will and quickly respond, and not cave in into peer crowd pressure to stand out for our Lord and for the truth of His word. Be blessed.